We're at the 2025 Sanctuary Cove Boat Show. Well, not physically. We're actually stuck in the Torres Strait, literally. We've been up here for 16 days. We won't get into that yarn just yet. Anyways, we've still managed to get a couple of the captain's deckhands on the ground to find out this year's Skibbs top 5. So without further ado, let's get stuck in. Number 1 is the White Pointer 800 Sports Fisher. We caught up with Rex Bryant to find out what makes this one of the toughest rigs on the water.
Rex Bryant, I'm from New Zealand and I've come here to exhibit at the Sanctuary Cove Boat Show, Gold Coast. So this is one of our 800 sports cruisers, 800 SC, among our more popular size. All the White Pointers have a heritage that goes back to commercial construction, and this is just a typical White Pointer. However, it's had a massive facelift after some experiences of building boats for Queensland, and this is a factory signature boat that we wanted to put our own spin on. We became the customer of our own build, and it was pretty exciting for our team to do it. And our focus was Queensland and Sanctuary Cove, and this is the product of planning for this event. We've lifted the level of finish and plushness. You know, we've gone all out in our upholstery. It has stemmed on from our 30th anniversary build, the 745 of last year. We sold that and we said, man, we want another one. And of course the theme was Queensland. Look, the linings are a big deal. The paint, so all the surfaces are really nice, but our lounges with our signature freezers are really nice. Our console workstation, nice pull-out fridges, lots of good drawers, comfortable seating, really good vision with our one-piece curved glass, really good sleeping, toilets, fresh water, lots of storage, lots of capacity to preserve the fish you catch, to chill them, freeze them, package them, bring them home in top condition. The 8 metre range, generally speaking, at a baseline would be around about 250 with say a 250 horsepower outboard on it, and quite a basic appointment. Just some nice bucket seats, good fuel tankage, and rod holders, and you can go fishing. However, a boat like this, when you start ticking the boxes, the price goes up. There's just no avoiding it. But you can choose somewhere between there and this and beyond. And this particular boat, supported by Mercury and Simrad, is about a $400,000 build. And there are still more boxes you could tick. So, this boat's come about through some processes and some relationships. So I think maybe a couple of years ago we did a review with the captain and another 800. And that was for a customer who had owned previous White Pointers, and he was coming to live in the Sunshine Coast, and he came back to me for another boat, and he put together his ideas for Queensland and the sunny coast, and it all worked out pretty neat, and we did a really neat review with that boat. It was a couple of years old, that boat. It was kind of good to do a review on not a brand new boat, just to show how well it stands up. But we went away and thought about it a bit more and said, well, we really like the Queensland climate, and we really like that boat, and we'd like to have more input from a factory promotional perspective. And so the team at White Pointer were all involved in this. They were all customers in this build, and we put this thing together for this event. So captain review, ex-New Zealand customer, migrating to the sunny coast, and we've come back 2 or 3 years later with another version, the way we see it.
Number 2 is the new Simrad NSS4. Here's Adam King with a lowdown on this new tech.
Hey guys, my name's Adam King. I'm a Senior Product Manager for Navico, and we're at the 2025 Sanctuary Cove Boat Show, and we're here to look at the NSS4. So this is the new NSS4. There's 3 things that are different. The first is design. It's a brand new mechanical design that looks a lot sleeker on the dash. It's an edge glass design, so no more bezels. It's got a nice new sun cover with a duckbill that's easy to get on and off. But we've kept some of the history that is NSS. So NSS has always been a hybrid product. It's always had a controller of some description. Things like being able to zoom in and out on a chart nice and quickly, that's things that people want to do all the time. They want to reach for it in a rough sea, and that's something that we believe is valuable to our customers, especially in fishing and cruising. So this is our flagship product. We've had this for a number of years in terms of the NSS range, and this is the latest evolution. This is actually a completely different operating system than what we've had in the past, but that's to make it closer and more familiar to people that are used to phones. They use them every day. No one can spend as much time on the water as they like.
Number 3 is the Northbank 520 Centre Console. Here's Andrew Harris to tell us more.
So my name's Andrew Harris. We're currently at the Sanctuary Cove Boat Show, and I'm sitting in our new 520 Centre Console, the Outcast. So the new Outcast 520 Centre Console, it's something that came about pretty quickly after I took over Northbank. We wanted to do something different. We wanted to test the waters in something different. And what better way to do that than in something that's going to be somewhat accessible for most individuals. It's a big volume centre console for the size, plenty of storage and very capable for offshore conditions. Horsepower wise up to 115, runs really well on a 75, 100 litres of fuel under floor with a 21 degree dead rise, so it carries all the DNA that Northbank has to offer. So being a little bit selfish, I actually wanted a centre console, and that's why this came about. I wanted something that's big volume that I can fish myself and a couple of mates out of when we go tuna fishing or king fishing offshore. It needed to be beamy and it needed to have a decent freeboard, which this has to offer. I'm 6'5", so the last thing I want to do is feel unsafe in a smaller vessel offshore chasing big fish. So I wanted to make sure that this ticked as many boxes during the design concept of this that I could fit into a large volume 5.2 metre boat. It's hard unless you're going to do something completely radical to change the style of things, and I think Northbank's always carried a really nice DNA. We wanted to keep the DNA that we've always had in Northbank, but we wanted to sharpen it up a little bit. And then there's been a lot of great boats over the years Australian boat manufacturers have built that you can always take little things away from that, you know. So I wanted something that had nice wide gunnels on it too, so we can really work out and tailor for the individual around what sort of fishing they're doing. So multiple locations to put rod holders, outriggers, cup holders obviously for your beers, etc. But yeah, really wanted something that looked classy, still kept with the DNA within Northbank, but had a nice fresh look around it. So yeah, plenty of storage. As I said, it's a big volume, little center console. Underneath the console itself, we've got a false floor. So all our batteries, house batteries, lithiums for if you put a electric motor, everything is down really low to keep a nice center of gravity, but then maximize the amount of storage here. So the false floor means that we can still fill this up with safety gear, food, wet weather gear, whatever you want to do for offshore trips. It was really important as well that if we were going to do something brand new and dip the toe in the waters, it's not just a boat that we can go offshore fishing with. We've sort of thought about your estuary guys and competition guys. So we've got a 75 litre live bait tank option up the front in the forward hatch, and then forward of that is plenty of space for all your dry gear, safety gear, food, water, whatever you want to put in it. The other thing that I love about this boat, and talking with a lot of mates of mine who are hardcore fishers like myself, is that we wanted to make sure that the transom area still had enough storage, so we had a nice clear deck space. So you want to take as much gear as you can away with you, but you don't really want to crowd up the boat and the deck space. So we can put tackle bags, buckets, small eskies on the port and starboard side of the transom away from the deck, as well as you've got live bait tank on your starboard side, and then storage on your port side there too. So,
Number 4 is the DG3 Gyro from Dometic. Here's Bailey Smith to explain how it works.
Yeah, so I'm Bailey. I'm from Dometic here on the Gold Coast in Australia. I'm the Marine Product Manager for the region here. So we're here today at the Sanctuary Cove Boat Show. We are absolutely stoked to be debuting the DG3 Gyro Stabilizer here. We truly believe we're bringing a whole new level of gyro stabilization to the market here today. I guess the number one thing, and what people are going to notice with our gyro, is the class-leading spin-up time. So that's a 16-minute spin-up time to full RPM. We're at stabilization RPM in around 9 minutes with this unit here. We achieve that through a few different methods. So one of those being the 48-volt lithium spin-up battery that we have. and a few other things we've done in the mass placement of the gyro and the RPM which we actually operate as well. So with this one here, like most of the gyros on the market, we're reducing sort of roll by over 90%, right up there with any of the other gyros you see on the market. One of the key things with this unit is that we're truly active in our stabilization. So thank you to our electric precession actuator that's inside this unit coming from our Optimus steering technology. We're able to completely control the gyro based on a whole range of sea conditions, and we can then adjust that reaction based on the sea conditions as well, because we have complete control of that electric actuator. So this particular model here, the DG3, we're quoting from 35 to 42 feet for this unit. We saw that as a good entry level to the market, a good balance of sort of what we can spin this at, get it up to a nice spin up RPM quickly as well.
Number 5, and it's the Humminbird Explore. Here's BLA's Marcel Krieger with a rundown.
G'day, Marcel from BLA, distributor of Humminbird. We're down here at Sanctuary Cove International Boat Show, and we want to introduce you to the newest Humminbird, the Explore 10. Now they come in a range of sizes, 9, 10 and 12. They're a cross-touch screen. So we've got a touch screen as well as all the button functionality. Out of the box they come with the 3-in-1 transducer. So what does that mean? We've got traditional sonar here, chirp sonar. We've got down imaging and we've got side imaging. So that's all in the one transducer fitted to the boat. It also comes with maps. So our Humminbird Coastmaster map, all of Australia, to get you around the countryside. Easy enough to use. We can use 2 fingers to open that up to a widescreen, or we can use the minimise and maximise button. I should also say that these are compatible with the new MegaLive 2 sonar. So that's an additional transducer. The guys are loving that real-time sonar with the MegaLive, and our 360, so you can look all around the boat to find the fish and then obviously catch them. We can now zoom into our full screen. We've got in-pane touch targets. So you can now touch here to change the sensitivity, etc. Really easy to use, as well as these home buttons and things on the side to change your screen favorites. Now these interact with our Minn Koda. So if we've linked it to our Minn Koda, we can now tell it where to go, to spot lock, to drive us around, etc. Really exciting technology, and the guys are loving it, brand new for 2025.